Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's edition of the Just Us Review. We'll like take our favorite shows. You know they can be in the medium of comic books, sci-fi, horror. We don't care. We just want it to be great, because if it's good, then you know it's good, and if it's bad, you're going to hear about it. And today, we got to keep this train going. The show came out earlier this week called Black Lightning. Black Lightning continues on with season 3 as the train keeps moving. That's right, we've been saved for...
season 4.
I couldn't tell.
I'm glad you said that, because Christian's got commentary about that.
Season 4, episode 4.
We're in season 4, and the train keeps moving, and it kind of feels like everybody's just waiting for the bus to stop. So with this one, Black Lightning is still fighting in cages. Lynn is still doing her thing. Thunder is doing her thing. But Grace Joy is woken up, and the city's getting prepared for a whole host of meta weapons that's about to hit Freeland, taking us back to another war zone. Let's take this to the top and talk about the greats of this episode. What were some goods of this episode?
There was only one good, because everything else was garbage, and that was the Gamby thing. You know what I'm talking about.
All
Gamby stuff was good.
AKA Pippin ain't easy.
Gamby going to the lab or Gamby?
Gamby clapping them cheeks.
That's right.
That was the only good thing.
That's right. It was a shock this episode. But halfway through the episode, Gamby had a stroke, and then another stroke, and he kept stroking. To the lovely young lady that he works with, and manufacture them guns, because them guns go bang, bang, bang.
But on the serious tip, Gamby has been the one consistent, enjoyable thing this season, just because he ironically, in my opinion, he is the only one on the team that is actually trying to protect Freeland right now.
Mm-hmm. It also feels like Gamby is like, hey, I know I'm watching after the Pearsons, but can I have my own life too?
Yeah, and he needed that.
I will say, it's like Gamby had a reset and move forward at the same time. I feel like there's some stuff in the plot that was skipped over.
Mm-hmm.
Did you remember when Gamby died last season, and then went into hiding, and it was like, I need to figure out who put a head on me? Was that Lady Eve, or what happened?
That was the ASA.
Was that ever resolved?
Yeah. The ASA is shut down now, so he don't have to hide no more.
Okay. So he can be out in the open clear and all that stuff. All right.
I have a good, but I'd like to preface that good by saying, look, I'm rarely wrong, but in an instance where I'm wrong, I will admit it. But I'm not going to do that today. What I am going to do is say that I'm turning a corner on the police officer dude.
Okay.
He earned my respect.
Oh no, he was sucking Black Lightning's penis extra.
No. Let me say something. Someone's got to do it, because everybody else treats him like garbage, and I'm so tired.
Except for the old heads.
But that's gonna go in my bads.
My good, I would have to say, Grace Choi and Anissa's relationship. They're doing the typical, getting together, moving in together, being married, kind of spats, whatever. But like, she's cleaning it up.
I feel like that whole big thing before they went out to fight was a bit manufactured, but at the same time, it was harmless.
But it was like because I feel like, were they roommates before this or whatever?
Yeah.
They're about to get married.
Okay, so now they actually have to get used to that, and that's the adult stuff we missed from the show.
What I will say is that that they could have stretched that for 4 episodes, and I'm so glad that they were. I'm so glad that they were like, no.
Yeah, I see the error. I see the error of my ways. I'm gonna clean this up real quick. You belong here, blah blah.
And I kind of have a theory about that.
But honestly, yeah, in that sense, because a lot of people were disappointed in me, and up until later that episode, Thunder was one, because I was like, you went out of your way to speed up the relationship with this woman. You sprung marriage on her. You sprung all this stuff. And then as soon as she comes back, you like, oh, now this is my house. And I'm like, but she did clean it up at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Any more goods?
I like that Grace Choi somehow had a suit. And I'm trying to figure out.
She got a code name now.
Yeah, what was the code name? I didn't hear.
Wild.
Is that a thing?
No.
Okay.
She was just Grace Choi.
Oh, I see. That's why. Okay.
But this Grace Choi is completely different from comics Grace Choi.
This is a cheetah.
Grace Choi in the comics was.
Yo, we've been down that road.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently she hits unnecessary cartwheels in the middle of gunfights.
But she's also a comic book head, which seems to keep being a reoccurring thing because somebody has to in the show, apparently.
Yeah, and apparently nobody's ever seen the movie Inception because you have a comic book of your comic book in your universe. But that's neither here nor there. All right, any more goods? All right, let's drop.
A little bit more about
I will say, I liked. Remember I said how Tobias has been a petty king last week. I like that. Apparently he had a plan and he saw his plan through because he said somebody was just so predictable.
That was a plan.
In a
Get
way.
rid of the mayor, yes,
and not by his hands. It
was, gotta go to the bad.
Okay.
I got a bad for this too because I feel like I know where this is going. I think he's trying to run for mayor.
That's fine. Whatever.
All right, so now that we got the goods out of the way, let's go ahead and crash into these bads. I got it.
I think he called you.
Yeah, I already know what you're gonna do. Put her to the side for a minute because we gotta work up to this.
But did you see what she did though?
I know. But we gotta work up to it though.
Okay.
We gotta work up to it though.
Okay.
Tobias, LaLa, get over here. You guys, seriously, we're doing this again. Are we doing this again with these characters?
It literally rinse and repeat for season one.
It is.
And like, I can't even take LaLa seriously anymore because, you know, like I've lost all respect for those characters.
Have you ever had it?
Let me piggyback off that for a second. Before season 4, Tobias Wells was on an escalation as far as villainy. He started with the street shit. He's like, okay, I'm done with the street shit. Let me go and try to go take over the town. Okay, I'm done with this. Oh, let me take over Metas. And let me use Metas. Let me be the opposite of ASA. He was going on a trajectory of greatness. And now it literally looks like, okay, I got out of jail. Let me do some more street shit. And I'm like...
you talking about Tobias?
Yeah.
I gotta push back against that. We don't see it now, but like I said, that man's trying to become mayor. He is literally like, I'm gonna take over the city.
But he's already tried that.
No.
Yeah, with the real estate when he tried to take over the church and stuff.
But he did it from a mobster point of view.
Exactly. Now he's doing it from a philanthropic perspective. It's different.
But the only thing different is, I know who you are, Jefferson.
Yeah, it feels the same because it feels like when he could be doing that stuff over here, then he's like
doing the petty stuff over here.
I'm gonna go fuck with Jefferson. But see, here's my problem with that, and that comes back around to the point that I lost it.
Well, I can pick up off that, but then you talking about coming off a season. Well, we just got an entire season where you fight against Metas, and now you fight against the same people again. That's fucking boring.
Yeah,
you get Wayne Brady gave us an awesome Gravedigger. That was a great way to submit season 3.
And I will say this because this is a bad of mine. They keep talking about how bad Metas are, and the only Metas we see are the Pierces.
Exactly.
And if you want to count them, TC and Grace and
they don't
TC.
even go out.
Exactly. TC don't even go outside.
I got an issue with TC.
So, and kind of going in line with that, we kind of see it. We said that the show got canceled sometime in between them filming this season. I feel like the show got canceled like early on because they clearly gave up.
So I remember what I wanted to say in regards to Tobias. He's already out there as someone that can't be trusted, and it's like the town, the continuity of the show just forgets that, and it's like, we'll just trust Tobias, because that leads into my next bad, and that was the stupid ass police commissioner or the fake ass Renee Montoya or whoever that is. Like, she literally was like, well, I'ma just trust Tobias even though he wants to hold this gun rally at the shadiest part of Freeland at night.
and we have all 6 officers out there to help.
And then the dude that you coming around on, this is another in the good power for him. He literally told her, don't do that. Tobias is a piece of shit. And she's like, well, I'm gonna do it anyway, and you either on my side or not.
Is she new in town?
Shut up. And then when it fucking fails, blames Lightning and Blackbird for it.
Here's the funny part, the fucked up part about that. She blames Lightning, saying that she could have got to him in time, but then Tobias set it up so that he got hit by a police bullet. So how?
Yeah.
And what could she have gotten to in time that an electric user was not moving faster than her?
So you're a fucking idiot. So what I will say is a bad that I have about that entire thing. Last episode, the mayor told Tobias straight up, "No Playboy, go to hell. I'm not falling for you." And then literally this episode, he wrote the step in infection like they never had that conversation.
So that was kind of weird.
Yeah, and like
you let him set you up for the okie doke.
And I'm gonna say this about the Tobias plan that I'm saying is not really a plan. To me, it just seems like shit is happening conveniently in his favor, and he's taking credit for it. Because, like, seriously, that was your plan to kill the mayor?
No, actually, it gets a lot dumb. This whole, honestly, Freeland has turned to a bunch of idiots. Because you're telling me that in a situation where Lightning literally saves all these people and stop a gang riot, that a TV studio who doesn't even have a man on the ground takes footage and alter it and is able to make her the bad guy.
But this is a commentary on older generations consuming media. It's not wrong the way that they're portraying it on the show. I get my news from this source or this person, and they can spin it however they want, and then it's generational in a way. Because then she just said, "Oh, the millennial just hacked my stuff and made it look like she did something."
I would be okay with that if they just didn't get off an occupation where the news was literally spinning everything that was happening to them, and they saw it in real time.
But here to defend said on that, have you looked at our real life?
I grant you.
Like we look like all the shit that we've gone through. And the way that they're clearly spinning the media in real life, and motherfuckers still believe it.
No, but the part that gets and granted, because I was like, you just witnessed the ASA put you guys in pretty much internment using this news station, and then as soon as they leave, you think, okay, it's cool to listen to this news station again, even though they were setting you guys up for the okie doke and lying.
But it wasn't even that. Remember, they didn't have news coming into Freeland. Because remember, did you forget Jamila? She was boots on the ground. I'm doing this from my Instagram page. That's the only news they was getting.
Say that word one more time.
I'm doing this from my Instagram page. Is it time for a segue?
It's time for a segue. I'm glad that you said that, young Jonathan. Because I would like to introduce a young woman named Lightning, who was told to lay low and stand down because of the way the police viewed matters. And what does she do? She lays low and stays down. No, the fuck she doesn't.
So that was weird to me too. That because last week she was like, I need an Instagram page. Make me an Instagram page, TC. And TC makes the Instagram page. And then on today's episode, TC goes to her. He's like, have you checked the Instagram page? No, why? The fuck? And then when she finds out she's got 2 million views.
John, what would you expect from a drug user?
Yeah. She finds out she has 2 million views and she's like, oh shit, I'm supposed to be laying low. What did you think was supposed to happen?
Well, I have a question. Who built that Instagram for her?
TC.
Thank you. You said TC. TC, I hate the way they portray him. He went from this... He could have had his home story arc and did his thing, but he's literally been relegated to unnecessary best friend for Lightning, aka Lightning's punching bag.
That was him last season, though.
So
no. He was protege to Gamby last season.
That was just a few times.
She did that shit. She did that shit last. It was like I need you to go in and get painkiller. out of the shadow realm,
and then he
you
did
need to
all
get
that
Yami
shit.
Yugi out of the shadow realm.
But most of that was like the one. Well, that was only a few times because I'm tell you why. Because they relegated Geo dude as her tag-along buddy to relegate that too.
And then they kind of had that little. I don't know if you noticed the little fissure or whatever when they met each other. Like, okay, who's this guy? Who's that guy? And then it kind of just stopped after that.
Well, for the most part, he was hanging out with Gambi. And
He
then
was hanging out with Jan too.
But then this season, it was like, hi, I'm the smartest person in this fucking state. But I will use all my resources for your petty bullshit.
And that's what really irks me because Thunder dies in this episode. I mean, Lightning dies in this episode.
Deservedly.
And I didn't feel anything for her because the entire episode I'm watching her and
She has no direction.
not just that, but it's like she treats him so mean and she's so combative with him, but yet she runs to him for help and he gives it to her. And I'm like,
It's not even just with her. Like in the beginning of the season, and look, I hate to defend Lynn right now because she got some heat coming in this direction, but I need to do this right now to bring up the point in regards to Jennifer. Literally, she's worried about Jennifer's future and, signing up for college and shit because after this high school shit is over, what is next for you? And she doesn't want to fucking do it.
And honestly, and I've been noticing this since episode 1, the actress is pretty much, it felt like she's checked out completely.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like every episode is literally her doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's her grumping around. She'll go out and fight some villains, and then she'll go to the ozone and get her hot. And she's been repeating that for the past 4 episodes to the point like, okay, she comes into the studio and they're like, just do what you normally do.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say, the actress did put out something might have been last summer, where she was saying that she is leaving the show. And so I'm thinking this, and she said you'll notice in the show like where my character goes or whatever, so it won't really be a thing. And so I think maybe starting off in the beginning of the season, like you said, she checked out and it was just like, well, we don't really have much footage from her, so let's just put you here, put you here, put you here, put you here.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and then the hypocrisy of what she called her dad in the ring. And then she was like,
what? What's the hypocrisy?
Yeah, it was
It
hypocrisy.
was hypocrisy.
Because
you
ran out there telling Lynn about his business.
Well, not just that, but Thunders keep trying to tell you, hey, you need to be safe in the streets, but you running out there like you invulnerable.
And on top of that, you mad at Jefferson for going behind everybody's back and doing shit that you think that he not supposed to do, but you running up to the ionosphere and everyone in your family told you to stop doing that shit.
Sure.
Can we circle back to the Fight Club shit for a minute? Because I need to talk about LaLa.
Trying to have a heart-to-heart.
Yeah. If you die, then they gonna be running up in here and they gonna put me under the jail. Notice he did this when he said under the jail because that's the type of character he is, and I'm like,
Here's the thing.
but you kept letting them. First of all, let's get this out of the way. It was such a surprise and a what the fuck moment when I saw that Jefferson was going back to the Fight Club. But we'll save that for a minute. But my thing is, LaLa kept letting them do it, and I'm like,
oh, it's only been a week.
he kept letting them do it.
And then he was like, all right, get out of here.
And I'm like, dude, you knew this was a problem for you day one.
It's worse than that. So check this out. I'm LaLa. I don't care because I got a 90s mentality and I'm trying to run drugs and guns. Mm-hmm. You can't die, motherfucker. You afraid of jail?
And that's my problem with him overall. He could do so much more. Like, you know what would have been an even better turn for his character?
Can he die?
No.
I thought
he was coming back because, by the way, a plot point dropped in Black Lightning, period. The dude that can resurrect people.
The resurrection program. He wasn't just coming back on his own.
Okay.
But the point I was trying to make is like, you know what would have been a better direction for LaLa's character?
A lot of things.
A lot of things, but like, Okay, so even he knows Tobias is a problem in that there is another faction of people that hates Tobias too. Why don't you, like, team up with them?
Wait. No, you want to tell what would have been real brilliant if I was LaLa? I would have been killing Meta so that their tattoos can be on my body so that I can be manipulating their powers.
I was gonna say he should have been pulling up. He should have been pulling.
Yeah,
up.
he's able to pull people out and use their information and use anything that they know.
Use their power?
I'm pretty sure he can.
We never explored that because
That's he's too busy killing people for diamonds. he killing crippled motherfuckers.
I always thought if they weren't gonna do the whole LaLa becomes legit, he shaves that beard and gets a fade and he runs for mayor or something like that. If we weren't gonna do that,
nah, it's hard to see a mayor.
But if we weren't gonna do that, LaLa should have been gathering all the metas
to be on his side.
Here's LaLa as mayor. We're gonna get all the people. And they're gonna vote. But if they don't vote, we just have to kill them and start selling.
But it would have been something instead of like sticking people up for their crown royal.
He's like back when the occupation was going down. Bitch, you want some bread? I got some potatoes. You can mash them. They cost $5. He's like, yo, you
grow up.
Are we there yet?
Yeah,
we there.
I've been meaning to ask you about Tattooed Man's powers overall and how it's working. Because I feel like they're not giving us anything.
In the comics, Tattooed Man, he had tattoos on his body, and he could, and whatever the tattoo was a power that he could emit. So if you got a tattoo of like a skull head or that was on fire or whatever, he could just pull it out. And there'd be there'd be a flame skull on fire. And
so we can assume that he can use his Meta's abilities like that.
But we'll never explore that because, again,
I'm starting to even wonder if
he's sticking people up for their Crown Royal bag.
He's sticking to old ladies for their sock money.
I'm starting to even wonder if this is wild as fuck, but is LaLa a meta? Because when he pulls the tattoos out, no one else can see those people. Y'all remember that's been a thing the whole time. Everybody thinks he's talking to himself.
What gets me the most is y'all see y'all boss clearly, and every time y'all see him, is this how these go? You could work at Arby's because of this. This was better than Arby's. He's literally killing people for no reason.
Exactly.
He's like, JoJo, should I kill him? You ain't talking to nobody, man.
And that's why I asked, is he really a meta?
I have no
because
clue.
what do the tattoos actually do for him?
I honestly think he ate some bad cheese. And he has been hallucinating this whole time.
Before we get off Tobias and all that stuff. So I neglected to mention this past few episodes. He got and I'm glad that Jefferson pointed out, you got a new Joey Toledo and a new Cyanide rolling with you. Mm-hmm. Homeboy who's rolling with him, who turns out to be a Magneto, by the way. Lightweight Magneto.
Super lightweight, like Dollar General.
I need to know who his casting agent is because he's been in an episode of The Flash. He was Victor Zass in Gotham, and now he's playing no-name thug Tobias
Which
Crew.
means probably if he got Magneto powers, he Dr. Polaris.
Probably.
I think
his casting agent is Jeff Johns, if you want my opinion.
Which if that's supposed to be Dr. Polaris, then what a way to fuck that character up. But I mean, sure.
So now it's time
get
to
him. I'm not even gonna stop you. Get
my
him.
favorite bad of the episode, Lynn. We would like to invite you to the front of the congregation. Gaslighting, hypocritical, stank mouth, yuck mouth.
The gaslighter.
And let me say this before I go in with no lube. The actress who portrays Lynn is phenomenal.
Again, we give her all the respect in the world.
I believe that CW in all they don't black women writers, black characters is an Achilles heel for people who write for the CW, and it clearly shows. But again, I love the way she portrays the character. Now that we got the pluses used out the way, this dumb bitch.
Notice how she wasn't in the episode this much.
So Lynn is up there yelling at Jefferson, "How dare you do this? And you keep this secret from me. You can't, and you keep secrets from the family." And Jefferson was like, he's like, "First of all, bitch, is you high right now? Is you on something right now?" And as soon as he said that, her lips cracked. Because
they were able to ask you because of all that.
he was like, first of all, he turned sideways and pointed to her. He was like, first of all, your ass is an alky. Second of all,
and a drug addict.
And you up there milfy goofing powers from people that you don't even know who exist. And you up there taking speedballs and shit. Next of all, you sit on there having lunch with Tobias Wells.
And she was like, "Oh shit, how you found out?"
You was up there sniggling and giggling and wearing the panties.
Getting and grinning.
Wearing panties that you don't even wear for me. You come up in there in my drawers, but yeah, you was wearing the black lacy coochie cutter.
She was like, I don't tell you that one little thing and you get upset.
I'm like,
and what did he counter with? He was like, that ain't the only thing that you ain't been telling. So after she was like, I don't tell you that one little thing and you get upset, and then he's like, bitch, that ain't the only secret you didn't keep when you was I'm sorry, I got distracted.
I'm sorry, I gotta add a dramatic effect.
What was the other things that she didn't do?
She's a junkie. She been shooting up on people's powers.
She been going out fighting crime even though she don't know how to fight. She been abandoning the kids even though they
The
told her.
The ASA shit with Odell, like that was a lot of shit that you did, Lynn, without telling Jefferson and the family.
Sitting all ashy and shit.
So we bring up Lynn in this whole thing, and this is coming to the core thing of something that's been really irking me about Black Lightning this season when it relates to certain characters, and last season too. And when it relates to Lynn, and we're gonna throw Lightning in there too, and Thunder catches a little bit of it too, but they removed her from that family unit, and so she's been coming off better. They have written Jen and Lynn to be so mean because
I know what you mean.
Because and this is how you know. Let's take Lynn since we talking about it now. When they argue, Lynn says some shit that you wouldn't say to somebody if you really cared about them. She threw Henderson in his face. She might as well have threw his dead daddy in his face. And he's never done that shit to her.
Here's the part that kills me. She acted like she never knew who Henderson was.
And then exactly that he was a family friend. And then later when they hash things out, if you watch that scene again, she never apologizes back. No. She never says she's sorry. And she even doubles down and says, in my defense.
And you know what I'm saying? And this actually transbacks to later episodes too. And in this one, I almost thought he was about to hit her. So
he did have a little. So, like he flashed back to when she hit him last season, and he was like.
But that shows the interaction. She has been the most abusive one in this relationship because it's like anytime that they sit down to talk or discuss what's going on, she instantly goes on the offensive. And Jefferson always either has to back down and leave, or he has to sit there and take the brunt of it and be like, you know what? I can't talk about this right now with you because you're not hearing me. Mm-hmm. And it's like Lynn is so far gone in her addiction that she's lying to everyone, but the therapist can see it, her children can see it, then Jefferson can see it, Gambit can see it.
Tobias can see it.
Tobias can see it.
And he using it. And that's what and that lets me know that there's a problem with writing for women, particularly the last couple of seasons, because if you notice, Jefferson had to apologize to everybody today, or particularly Lynn and Jen, and neither one of them apologized back. He had to apologize to Jen for, in my opinion, no fucking reason.
No, he didn't.
No fucking reason.
But you know what?
And Jen never came out of her room and said, "I'm sorry, Daddy, I won't go into the ionosphere again." What does she do in response?
She's unapologetic for all of this shit that she does, which is why when she dies at the end of the episode,
like you don't feel anything for her.
Well, not just that.
Because her character has never grown.
No.
Like
from season 1.
Like I was serious earlier because I'm back on Jen again. I was serious a few minutes ago when I mentioned how mean she acts towards TC. Like he does stuff for her that he doesn't have to do, and she acts like he is the most vile person in the room.
Like he's annoying.
Yeah.
This has been his only purpose for existence in the season is cow-topping her. And the part that pisses me off is that next week, when they discover that something has happened to Jen or that she's missing,
they'll probably blame him.
No. They're going to blame Jefferson.
You're right about that.
Lynn is going to blame Jefferson, and she's going to retreat further into her addiction. And Jefferson, of course, is going to be the lid. Is going to be.
Well, I don't know about just going it that far because remember they came up with the plan that she needs to work with Tobias.
Which that's another thing I gotta get into that really irked me.
Somebody is gonna get either someone's gonna get blamed or they're gonna kind of like not throw it under the rug, but like we gotta keep the train going because she's not coming back.
And
for a majority of the season.
And I don't know if y'all clocking this, but Lynn is gonna be lightning. She's gonna be like
experiment with her power.
Mm-hmm.
I think something else is gonna happen. You guys mentioned a member of the Outsiders, and what I think is gonna happen is that they're just gonna get this
slide in Grace Joy.
Slide in, no, well, not for Lightning, but then they mention Joaquin. Is that his name?
Oh, Joaquin.
No, he's not coming in.
He's not coming in.
Okay.
He's on. He's gonna be on the next season. Stargirl.
Okay.
But
so I'm gonna shoot that out.
My last bad for this show, this episode. Granted, there were many.
Dumb cops are dumb.
Dumb cops are dumb because federal and state authority figures, that's just a TV trope.
Mm-hmm.
Thunder, hang up the Blackbird stuff.
Yeah,
It's outdated, it's outused.
If she walked onto the screen as Blackbird and I literally yelled to the TV, "Be Thunder!" Like, at this juncture, I don't, like, even back during the occupation season, I didn't understand the reason for this costume.
I honestly believe she wears the costume so she doesn't have to braid her hair, but that's just me.
Don't braid your hair then. Just be Thunder.
And how nobody can figure out that that's Jen is beyond me.
Because she just gave up.
But yeah,
like she'll put on a wig or nothing.
But like, I think she likes being Blackbird because she can be more violent as Blackbird.
I don't know.
Is there really a difference?
There's not really a difference. Like, Blackbird hangs out more with the people, and Thunder goes...
Which is weird that nobody has seen that they have the same exact fucking power.
And that was my thing. It used to be that when she was Blackbird, she didn't really use her powers like that.
Or didn't try not to show her powers in front of everybody.
But now she's just doing it, so it's like, what's the point?
Oh, speaking of which, the meta EMP guns don't work on her.
I guess fucking not. But Gamby was sabotaging the guns.
Not the one that LaLa had.
Still trying to figure out how something that shoots and electronic blast is hurting Black Lightning, but that's neither here nor there.
But they're supposed to be for all metas wherever the fuck they are. I mean,
this is to kill all the metas that's harassing Freeland.
You need to tell me where the fuck they at.
It's a Black Lightning, stop Black Lightning, King.
Oh man, got clocked by a meta. Some shit Tobias was saying before he started talking about Jacqueline Incredibles. It's a travesty. And I'm like, who is this motherfucker? And show me what he doing.
And that's another thing. So Black Lightning and the other metas literally help Freeland and the police get their power back, and now the police are like, fuck metas. What happened between this season that we didn't see?
Exactly.
It is so dysfunctional between the writing and the story. Like, what is happening? Like, I feel like there's some.
We missed the season.
I'm gonna ask y'all a question off camera because I don't think we need to talk about it on camera.
Like the Markovians had the police officers like in cages.
They killed like most of them.
Exactly. And if it wasn't for Black Lightning, they would still be there.
And what kills me is as soon as the police get free, all right, let's get back to beating niggas.
Like I said this episode 1, but there was a whole government hearing saying Black Lightning is the hero. Black Lightning and the Lightning Crew are the heroes of Freeland.
And then Jefferson himself goes in a bar and is like, fuck Black Lightning. Like you wasn't on TV last year.
Well, let's talk about this switch so quick. You go from we as the police need to rise up and take out the Markovians because they're keeping us in chains and they're disenfranchising us and the people in Freeland. All right, Markovians are beat. Let's disenfranchise the people as the police. And the first thing they do was try to kill a dude with a violin, and I'm like,
yeah,
where are we?
So wild.
It's like Oliver rewrote everything to be stupid.
But at the same time, that's fucking real life.
It is.
It's real fucking life. We've been getting beat by the police for decades and decades and decades, and then when the police got beat in Washington, and now that that's over, they back to beating motherfuckers' asses again like that shit never happened.
So this show is real and unreal at the same time.
Yeah, it's so wild.
As you guys can see, we have a lot of mixed feelings that goes to Black Lightning. And this show used to be the pillar of the CW show.
It still is.
Look at what they got left.
Absolutely nothing.
Flash running around, give back my wife! And I'm like, you tried to sound so hard with that line.
First of all, give me back my wife.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. He's working out now.
As you can
So
see,
I better,
calm down, guys.
Yeah.
in their sense to stay real and stay close to realism, I believe Black Lightning, the show writers have lost their way. But hopefully with the episodes that they have to come, they can find their way back. As we know, Lightning will not be on the show for quite some time, as she showed her interest in leaving the show. Oddly enough, coming back for the other show, which is weird.
Painkillers.
They're going to introduce Painkillers going to come back, I believe, towards the end of the season.
Because Nelly has to save her.
He'll probably be back next week.
But
if Lightning's dead, he don't want to come to the funeral.
exactly, with Murphy Lee and them. Thank you guys for joining us for this episode of the Just Us Review. Like I said, stay tuned in every week. We try to have as much new content as we possibly can. Like and subscribe. But until next time, we got some work to do.
And Superman and Lois like
Sure, yeah, we doing it now. Superman Lowe's about to be the pillar of the CW.